You loved it so much the first time, we're gonna do it again.
We're going to show you fabric in more than one pattern.
Keep watching. Hi, it's Fran Morgan.
And Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Recently, we did a great show showing you the same fabric in 3 different images.
You guys said that you loved it and that it was just super inspiring.
So we're doing it again.
So let's get started.
All right.
So our first quilt is Perfect Match, and this is a really cool pattern because it's basically just one block that is made and rotated over and over again. It's got some really fun fabric too. Let's put it on the table and we'll show you the fabric. All right, do you know what? Maybe we should get the cropping tool for this one because I really think that this quilt is made in a very interesting way and a little bit different than you would expect. So basically what we've done here is we have a block just like this. And basically it is a rectangle, and then we have a strip piece, let me say that right, strip piece with 3 pieces here that we've cut a unit off and sewn it together. Now we've done that again, and we've done it in a different fabric, and it's just so very simple, rectangle, and then here's our unit here.
That is really cool.
Just turned so that this little like keystone here butts up and matches, so it's really great. And then we've sewn just a little piece between to give the division. This one is just super simple. It is from our On the Double book, and I just love the way that it's made, so it's really fun. Now this fabric is great too. And you know, this fabric is cool because it's kind of a conglomeration of memories in a way, because we have some silhouettes of deer, we have some words, we have some snowflakes and some snowflakes tucked back here, some little florals and leaves mixed in. It's really kind of a
collage.
It is such a neat collage on this fabric. So this is our focus, and it goes in our block here. And then as our alternate block, of course made the same way like we just saw, is this great blue that's got the snowflakes and the red that pick up all of this in here. So fun. And of course that is here, and we've got a little on our binding as well. And then we have our punch, which is our red. Of course you see that as our sashing, our little keyhole block, border here. Just wonderful. Lots of yummy texture on this. And of course it picks up all the reds in this as well.
You know, it's never too early to start sewing for Christmas, never ever. And you know why I like this one? Because it doesn't just, it just whispers Christmas.
Yes.
It's not like, hey, I'm Christmas. But, so you could have it out a little bit longer.
You could. You know, you absolutely could. It's kind of that wintry, snowy scene with all of those things. So it's really lovely. Now, we have some additional images for you with this kit made up in a couple of different patterns, which are very cool. So now you see how beautiful it is in Perfect Match. So let's look at it in Attraction, and you can see how wonderful that fabric looks on the border of Attraction, and it kind of has that same mimic of, you know, silhouette kind of look where you've got the square where one side is one way and one side is the other way. It's very neat, very neat. Now then we have our second image, and this is our United quilt from our brand new Patriotic book, and it has the big block which is bordered with the red, and it really shows this fabric off just beautifully.
And you know, with this pattern being from our brand new book, we just want to remind you we did a whole video showing all of the quilts, and they're not just for Patriotic.
That is so true.
You can make them in any fabric, so you'll have to check that out.
And it looks fabulous in this fabric as well.
Does.
Oh my goodness, so nice. All right, so let's get the kit info for this. The number is 8022534. It is called Modern Wonderland, and the pattern is Perfect Match from the book Quilts on the Double, and we are suggesting the Attraction pattern as the alternate.
This one is called Tranquility, and Tranquility is another one that is just so super easy to do. And you can see the joining right here, just barely, so that you have a block that's actually turned upside down. I like that. Let's put this one up on the table and talk about the fabric. This one, we have our beautiful floral that's going to be in the center here. And I remember you talking about how you felt like this was kind of mimicking one of those waterfalls where, I love those water walls, I guess you would call it. You know, you'll go into a nice restaurant or If you have an uber rich friend, you might go in their house and they have a water wall in there. And this is what that is mimicking. I like that.
It is fun.
Now, we all know that how indispensable the number 2 is.
Yes.
You know, it's one of those little quiet guys that stays in the background, but it just wouldn't be the same without it. So you take your number 2 and 3 fabric, you compare them, you put the lightest in the background, and it works very, very quietly, showing you the design.
Yes.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is very cool.
And then, of course, we have to have that sashing or the framework, the little accent that really causes your focus fabric to look beautiful.
And that blue pulls the blue out in the floral so well.
Now,
So well.
it does. And this does make a beautiful, beautiful quilt. But what would it look like in another pattern?
Oh.
We have 2 more images to share with you. And the first one is of the Lickity split pattern. And this one is super easy to do. And it's also written in such a way that you could use directional fabric if you wanted, because I actually wrote that pattern so that you could use directional fabric or a tossed fabric like we have here. So that one is the Lickity split pattern. And then for another, or the third one, we have it in the quilt pattern engagement, and I like it. I like how that turned out.
That. The blue really pops, and I love the way that the floral is on the border.
Yes, it's beautiful. It really does show off. If you've got a focus fabric that you really, really want to focus on, this is a great one for that.
It's really
Now,
great.
this one is called Floral Waterfall. It's Tranquility is the pattern from the Make It Modern. It's 8023115, and the alternate pattern is Lickity Split.
Now our next pattern is Snowball, and isn't this just yummily, just moody and rich and elegant? We've got this great snowball here. We've made it in 2 different colors, and of course when you join the corners of the snowball, makes this really cool diamond shape. And let's put this on the table and check out the fabric and those extra images.
I don't know about you, but I love this particular quilt. It just really is, it's like you just want to wrap up in it.
It really is. Well, it's just, it kind of, I don't know, it's very, very elegant, and it has that warmth and that moodiness that is just so comforting. And I really like the way that the border on this one is made with the triangles that are left over from making the snowball.
Absolutely. And you know, we have a great tutorial on the snowball pattern.
Oh, well,
yeah,
that would
so
be
you'll want to
helpful.
be sure to check that out if you've never made a snowball, or if you just want to watch it to get a little extra tip or two.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's check out this fabric, because it really is wonderful. I love it on this black, and I think that's what creates that really rich mood and the elegance. And that goes in our first snowball here, as well as on our little triangles here. And then our number 2, now this is like a double focus, is kind of a similar print. I think it's an identical print, but it's on the off-white, and that is in our alternate block here, as well as on our border half square triangles. Then we have this great gold, and you know, this gold, as you can see, it picks up all the flower color here, and then of course that same color is in the black.
Perfect.
And it is just perfect, and it creates that great background. Now this is good because it's a quieter, smaller print, so it's not boring, because we never want to be boring, but it does give you that rest for your eye when you have the 2 big prints like this. It's really fun. All right, we have those fun images too that we want to share with you, and a couple of other patterns. Now the first one here, Byzantine door. Doesn't that look great?
It does. I
Oh
really
my.
like it in that pattern too.
I do too. And that pattern has some really large rectangle blocks, so it really shows this fabric off spectacularly. So that's a beautiful quilt. And then we have our second image that is our harmony pattern, and how wonderful it is showing off this fabric. The snowball is combined with more of a rectangle block, still a very fun quilt to make, and really showcases that. Now the interesting thing about this one, we actually decided to switch our fabric 2 and 3, so it kept that gold in the background. So I think that's a neat little trick that you can do and give some new life to your quilts.
That's right. It's a lot of fun to break those rules
Oh,
sometimes.
I love breaking the rules. Yeah, yeah. You know, I'm a little bit of a rebel. Okay, let's get the fabric information on this one. It is 8023013. It is called a Rustic Garden, and it is the Snowball pattern.
Next up, we have Jacob's Ladder. Isn't that pretty? It's just such a pretty, soft quilt look to this quilt, and it would make a wonderful gift for like a nursery, or it would be great just for somebody like my sister Ruth, who loves pink and butterflies. Now, whenever I see fabric like this, it always reminds me of your Aunt Ruth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She would love this.
She would love it. She loves nature, for one thing. My other sister Judy, and I tease her sometimes about how she's building the next Garden of Eden. Because
I want to visit.
Yeah, she probably even has apple trees.
Oh my goodness.
But she plants things that attracts butterflies and dragonflies. And of course, her absolute favorite color is pink.
Yes.
So she's a real soft, girly girl kind of person.
I love it.
So this is our #1 fabric, and I love the way the Jacob's Ladder is put together. So we have our #1 fabric and part of the blocks. And if you would hand me the cropping tool, I think we can show them how to make this, because this is made with 2 very easy blocks. First of all, you're going to be making a 4-patch like this. Look how easy that is. That's just a 4-patch, and we of course strip piece it so it goes together very fast. And if you've never made a half-square triangle, they're super, super easy. And this is a great one to start with because it's a big half-square triangle.
It is.
And that's what makes this, just alternating, making this in 2 colors. So we've got the pink and the white, and then we have the gray and the pink. And then you alternate those blocks, and it just comes out right.
It really kind of tricks your eye because you don't realize that it's as simple as it is.
Yeah, it looks like you've done something complicated.
Yeah, really complicated.
Yeah. So this is our #1 fabric. It's going to go right here. And then that wonderful silent partner, we have a little whisper of dragonflies in this. That's going to be the light, which really causes the whole design to come together. And then for our #3, to tie it all together, we have the pink, and there's going to be the centers of each of the light channels here is your pink. So that will show up in each of your blocks.
It's lovely.
Isn't that cool?
Very cool. Very sweet.
Now, we love this one, and I've kind of gone on and on about it, but hey, let's take a look at another image. This one is called Farmhouse Chic, and that one is a great looking, that's the great thing about it, is just almost any fabric will look great in any one of our patterns. But that one is the Farmhouse Chic, and then the other one that we've got it in is Dominique, which I love that.
That turned out so cute.
When I designed this, I actually have to confess, I did not see the flower in the center.
Oh.
I just designed it as an interesting looking block. And then my customers started telling me, oh, I love the flower in the center of that block. And I was like, oh, okay.
That's hilarious. Well, I love this too because it just shows how versatile the patterns are, how versatile the kits are that we've put together, and how wonderful they look in so many different things.
So, if you're the collector of 3-yard quilts like a lot of people are, and you ever get a kit, you can put it in any one of the patterns that we produce because they all use 3 yards of fabric. They all have the focus, light, and dark. So they're just super, super versatile. Now this one is called Butterfly Collection 8023084. It is Jacob's Ladder from the book Modern Views. This was a lot of fun today, wasn't it, Fran?
It really was.
And if you enjoyed this show, be sure to check out the first one that we did that showed lots of images with the same fabric.
Yep. Now, did any of these images and quilts surprise you when you saw them? Sometimes it's a little like, wow, we would love to hear. Be sure and put your favorite in the comments.
So it's Donna Robertson
and Fran Morgan. Thanks so much for joining us.